We invite you to please be seated, and good morning to all of our parishioners, CCS families, and friends during this Saturday morning as we gather to celebrate the gift of the Holy Eucharist. We often hear these expressions, I hate the world. I hate what's happening to society at this moment during this pandemic. I hate social live streaming mass. I hate Zoom. But maybe more seriously, I hate myself. I hate every time I look in the mirror, how I look, or how I wish I could look. So this hate becomes such a great trap that affects all of us. This great dichotomy or opposite to the commandments to love, Jesus has to throw it in the reality of hate into our life. Otherwise, we would be in denials of the world, of the reality of the world, that in love there will be hate. But how is it that we then, as ourselves, individually, or communally, or even as church, one body, overcome that emotions to hate, that rationality and mentality of hate, especially during this time of the pandemic, where certain groups of peoples are being isolated, being characterized and being hate, experiencing greater racist attack or discrimination. So as we listen here in John's Gospel, Jesus said here, if the world hates you, realize that it hated me first. If you belong to the world would love its own. But because you do not belong to the world, and I have chosen you out of the world hates you. Is Jesus preparing the disciples in part of John chapter 15 here for his departure, or for the church, the early church, to experience persecutions and even hate for those who become new believers of Jesus Christ? In a context of hate, Dr. Martin Luther King truly helped us to kind of re-examine love and powers and how we can overcome hate in that whole context of who we are as a society and who we are as a human family. Even family of faith can be divided in a context of hate, because one religion can claim I'm better than you and my God is better than your God. So Dr. King asked this wonderful questions. As he said here, where do we go from here if we are in the context of hate, divisions, and racism? Where do we go from here? So he said in one of his speeches in 1967, in a conference in Atlanta, Georgia, he said, what is needed is a realization that power without love is reckless and abusive. And that love without power is sentimental and anemic. Power is at its best is love implementing the demands of justice. And justice at its best is love correcting everything that stands against love. And that is what we must see as we moved on. Beautifully said. Where we can overcome that reality, that inclinations of hate in our life. It can re-examine what Jesus said and what Dr. King said. Power without love is reckless and abusive. And love without power can be sentimental and anemic. So in this time of the global pandemic, how can we overcome self-hate? How can we overcome societal hate in this time? Maybe just to practice mindfulness. It may sound a very simple cliche, but mindfulness can kind of help us to live in the present moment and walk away what's happening to us at work, what happened to us in the past. Or maybe when we look forward to the future, we may see a lot of hate that can cause and take away that ability to love. So practice mindfulness. Like at this moment, after this mass live streaming, when you have breakfast, or when you go and have your own brunch, practice mindfulness, then enjoy that food that you're eating. Enjoy the company that in front of you that you are eating. Even if you're watching another Netflix on TV, if you're watching another news update on TV, but enjoy that present moment that you are in. You may hate that job, you may hate that boss, let that go. And that's what mindfulness is all about. And second, maybe all of us are doing in this time that we are trying, that we are in this together. We are not alone. We see all kind of advertising on network TV, encouraging all of us that we are trying, that we are all in this together. So this areas of kindness is important. So even the small kindness that we do, we can live out that commandments to love one another and not to allow this hate to overcome where we are. Kindness trumps hate. Love trumps hate.